Today we're going to talk about the top 3 important tips every salesperson should know. And if you're a beginner, these are going to be helpful. If you're not a beginner, you've been around, maybe you forgot a few things. Let's get into it. All right, so this should be a reasonably quick episode, right? There's only 3 tips here. It's pretty simple. Number 1, let's slow down a little bit. Now, you would be surprised that I would come up with slow down and on a slow pitch, right? Yeah, I understand, but here's the thing. You need to slow down to make sure you can diagnose the problem before you start getting into numbers. Bad salespeople give a quote within minutes of getting the phone call, or before they should, let's put it that way. You don't want to give a quote before it's actually time. A really great salesperson will diagnose the problem correctly. That takes time. And by diagnose, that just means getting into the pain, getting to understanding what their problems really are, how much of an effort there is, how much of a problem there is, what the expense cost, what they've invested, all of the pieces, and diagnosing that before they actually get into what the actual pricing could be. Tip number 2, don't confuse interest with commitment. Just because they're interested does not mean they're committed at all. In fact, the way you find out commitment is you start asking some more questions about what kind of budget they have typically put forward for something like this in the past. When they've worked on projects like this that are similar to this, how much did they invest in stuff like that? Was that more than they expected, less than they expected? Is that something that they're expecting this time or not? How much time is involved on their end? What are they expecting time-wise? How many other people are involved in this that should be involved, or you haven't gotten them involved yet? And if you haven't gotten all the decision makers involved, you need to do that because you really don't have a commitment until all the decision makers are involved in the process. And until they tell you what the next steps are, you're probably not going to move forward until the next step. That's going to come down to almost all along the way, you saying something along the lines of, what do we want to do next? That phrase is going to be used a lot more frequently if you're doing things correctly. It's a way of checking for commitment. Another simple way of checking for commitment is, hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being really like, hey, I'm ready to move forward on this, and let's sign right now, to 1, I have no interest in this whatsoever. Where do you feel like we're at right now? Because I don't feel like I've given you all the details, but I'm kind of curious where you are. And you'll find out. Someone will say, well, I think it's a 5. Okay, interesting you said 5. Why is that? You start working through some of those kind of conversations. Tip number 3 is you need to match your efforts with their seriousness. If they're serious and all along the way they are telling you through their actions, through their words, through the things that they're doing is important. So if they're very serious, your effort should match. Now, when I say match, what I mean by that is your cadence, your pace, your feeling like you're moving forward should be a little behind them. You should never get ahead of them and try to pull them over the finish line. You're always going to want to try to let them pull you over the finish line. That's critical. Because when they pull you over, it's become their decision, not yours. And that makes a difference in getting the sale completed. Someday in the future, we're going to talk about what to do when it gets to that point of they've made the decision to buy and you've decided you're going to let them buy, how you're going to verify and confirm, because there's a few more questions you need to be asking. We'll get to that in the future. But if you found this episode to be helpful, like and subscribe so you get more content just like this in the future. And remember, slow down and close more.